Hello, my friend. Welcome to a non-Wednesday. It's not Wednesday. No, it's not Wednesday. A non-Wednesday WDW Radio Live. This is the reason why I tell you to turn on notifications, because when I say that I don't really know when I'm going to go live, it's true. This was not planned an hour and a half ago. This happened very, very quickly. Thank you for being here. If you're watching live and if you're watching on the replay again, don't forget to turn on notifications on the WDW Radio page in the clubhouse. Sit back. Actually, don't sit back too far. Stay close to your computer. Relax and tag and invite a friend to join us. And before we even get started, one, thank you for being here. Hope you had a good weekend. A lot of stuff happened this weekend, which is part of the reason why we're doing this now. And to give you sort of a little peek behind the curtain, this is how it happens. Conversations happen at 2 o'clock this afternoon, and just a couple of hours later, we're announcing not one, not two, no, not three, just two special WDW radio events. Becky and I from Mouse Fan Travel have been talking for a long, long time. Turn on your good mic. I'm on my good mic. Am I not on my good mic? It says I'm on my good mic. Am I not? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Becky says turn on the good mic. Becky, turn on your good earbuds. It says it sounds fine. Hello? Is this thing on? It doesn't matter. It sounds fine. It should sound good. It shouldn't just sound fine. It sounds oil can like. Good Gandhi, what's going on here? All right, hang on a second, because now I'm getting all sort of like, now I don't understand. Let's do. Is that worse? It's not on. Some people say it's on. Sounds fine. You look great. I'm frozen. This is so bizarre. It's so bizarre. Use the Becky voice filter. Becky, it's been on. What? It's worse. Some people are saying it doesn't matter. Listen, I don't care at this point. Let's just move forward, because time is a wasting and there's all kinds. Somebody says I'm on the laptop mic. Somebody says it sounds hollow. Yet this thing says that I am on. Is that any better? Now it says it's better. Now it says it's worse. Keep talking. Just turn your gain up. Just talk. It's better. It's worse. It's very confusing. I'm getting a lot. It's like dating in high school and college and law school. I'm getting a lot of mixed messages from everyone. It doesn't matter. All right. It doesn't matter. We're going to keep going, because I am super excited to share with you what we have been working on behind the scenes. We have been talking for a long time, and thank you to everyone who has emailed me, direct messaged me, literally sent me like physical letters in the mail asking about what we are doing in terms of events, certainly what we are doing in terms of cruises. It is not like us not to have a group family cruise on the books. Yes, we have our Nat Geo expedition coming up this December. Ignore that big yellow button in the corner. I didn't get to change out the logo. We are doing our river cruise, but that's a little bit different, or we might find out to be a lot different than a Disney Cruise Line adventure. And there's a lot of factors at play. Some have to do with scheduling. Some have to do with the ships. Some have to do with the reveals from Disney, and getting some questions that we have had to try and get answered. If you've cruised with us recently, you know there are some things we're trying to, pardon the pun, navigate, but it doesn't matter, because the important part is that we get to do things together. And so after a lot of fun yet intense and wonderful conversations with Becky, by the way, over from Mouse Fan Travel, we have decided to share not just one, but two cruises, because each serves they serve different purposes. We had one that we were ready to announce, and then A lot of people were asking about the treasure, so we're going to do both. Instead of doing just one, we're going to do both. You can do one, you could do both, you could do neither. I'd prefer you at least come and join us on one. By the way, if you're watching live, let me know who has cruised with us before. Let me know what ship you did, what cruise you did, whatever it might be. And we're going to make this quick today because I want to just get to the announcements, take some questions, and then direct you to where you need to go next. Because like I said, things happen very, very quickly. This is not just our timetable, but the Disney timetable, and you're going to find out why in a second. So one of the cruises I have always wanted to do, and we've done sort of special themed cruises before, not just including guests that we have had on board with us. Ridley Pearson, Richard Sherman, oh my God, I'm drawing. Ron Cohey, I am looking at you. Not that you're here, but I'm looking at you as well. Jeff C says I have to buy a whole new out wardrobe after the buffets. Jeff, just wait until we get to this one. This past December, we did our second group cruise on the Disney Wish. This was a very merry time cruise, the first one I had ever done. I loved the idea of having this sort of the holiday overlay. And as much as I love Christmas, I told you this before, I'm a 7-year-old kid trapped in a non-7-year-old body. I love Halloween. I love the spooky time of year. I love the spooky season. I'm not a sweets guy, but I still do like the candy and the trick-or-treating and the dressing up and the costume parties and everything else associated with it. But we've never done a WDW Radio Halloween cruise until, not now, but until next year. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I would like to invite you and a few of your friends to join us on our first WDW Radio Halloween cruise on the Disney Magic in 2024. Halloween on the high seas on the Magic, October 21st through the 26th, 2024. This is a 5-night cruise from Fort Lauderdale with stops at Castaway Cay, Nassau in the Bahamas. But wait, this is where it gets good. Because in addition to stopping at Castaway, in addition to stopping at Nassau, it also goes to Lookout Cay at Lighthouse Point. And the crowd, there's no crowd here. If there was a crowd here, they'd be going wild. And we have a sea day. So I think 5 nights has always been sort of like the sweet spot for cruises. Now, we're not done yet because you're going, oh, wait a minute, Mangello, like Fort Lauderdale. We always like to do things to make our cruises a little bit extra, a little bit more fun, and to do stuff together. So first things first, in addition to the cruise itself, in addition to loving Halloween and an occasional sweets, I love trains. I know, I'm a little kid. I love trains, not just the ones around the Christmas tree, but the ones you actually ride on. And now with the addition of the new Brightline service from Orlando to Fort Lauderdale, we're going to ride the train together. We will figure out details as we get closer. But if you want to spend a couple of days in Walt Disney World before your vacation, and then we all hop on the train together, head down to Fort Lauderdale before we board the Disney Magic for our 5-night cruise, we can do that together. But wait, like Steve Jobs, there's also one more thing. Because in addition to doing a cruise, and in addition to making it Halloween, we also want to add in a little something extra. I'm not going to tell you what it is yet, but we are going to do a pre or post Saturday event. Did he say event or events, plural? That was plural as well. He probably wasn't supposed to say plural, but there's potentially more than one event on the pre or post. Interpret that how you like. We're going to do a pre and post event / plural before or right after our cruise on the Magic. I would love to tell you more, but Becky would literally climb through the internet and strangle me, which she's tried to before. Oftentimes she does it through the phone, and texts I cannot read. So to recap, This is our Halloween on the High Seas cruise on the Disney Magic, October 21st through the 26th, 2024. You're probably saying, Lou, how do I book? I'm going to get to that in a second because there's something else I want to share with you first. Because in addition to this cruise, I did say that I had not an event, but events, plural, to share with you. Jamie Williams says, do another scavenger hunt. I love doing the scavenger hunts. I might need another. Becky, we might have to go back on the Magic again. I might need to update my scavenger hunt. And by update my scavenger hunt, I also mean update my stretchy pants, just because I want to make sure, because we don't cruise for a while. Sometimes the scavenger hunts get out of date. It doesn't matter. We'll make it happen. We'll test out the Bright Line. We'll test out the Disney Magic. It's all in the name of research. I'm a giver, and I do these things for you. All right, so Mark, don't email Heather just yet, because in addition to the Disney Magic, and I understand it's October, maybe you don't go down to, maybe that's okay, because I have gotten many, and forgive my evasive answers. I was not trying to be the evasive recovering attorney. I just didn't have answers for you about the Disney treasure. It has been what those of us who are cruise fans have been talking about a lot, especially in light of the reveals that we had last week from Disney Cruise Line. Part of the reason why we had to wait was we were looking for additional information in terms of not just when the ship and sort of confirmation of when the ship was going to have her maiden voyage, but some other questions we need answers as well. And a lot of you said, look, we want to go. But Victoria says, girl, my costumes are planned 3 years in advance. I'm sure they are. I might need to consult with you. I already know what I want my costume to be. I might test it this year. And it's not an Ewok. It doesn't matter. We'll get to that. I'm very distracted because I'm very, very excited, in case you can't tell. So a lot of you are asking about the Disney treasure. And because the booking window for Pearl Castaway Club members opens tomorrow, it's the reason why I'm doing this right now. I wanted to make sure that I could give you answers and give you updates before you look to potentially book a cruise on your own. Stop what you're doing, because I'm about to ruin potentially your plans, and forgive that really bad 1980s rap reference. There was no way. I told Becky when we got on the phone today, I said, Becky, there's no way we can't do a cruise on the treasure together. It's just, we'll figure out the logistics, we'll figure out the spaces, we'll figure out the challenge. It doesn't matter, because when we were on the Disney Wish and we were talking with guests who were there with us as part of our group, the important thing is that we do these things together. So we'll figure out the details as we get closer. We will make sure to set expectations accordingly, but we have to do a Disney treasure. And the timing of the maiden voyage is interesting. A couple days before Christmas, not ideal for everyone. Also, because it's the maiden voyage, not ideal in terms of the financials that come to be. So we looked at the schedule, looked at the different itineraries and the times and when it was going, and then certain things just happened to line up when and where and how they are supposed to. Donna is crying, and I love that because, So here it is. Our first WDW Radio group cruise on the Disney treasure is not just going to be a celebration of the newest ship in the Disney Cruise Line fleet, but it's also going to be a celebration of this, of us, of our community and our family. Because now you are going to make me cry, because I wrote my first book in 2003. It came out in 2004. I really started podcasting in 2005, and 2025 is sort of, and my anniversary is always sort of like weird. Like 2022, it sort of is like the 20th anniversary to a certain degree of WDW Radio, and it takes place in February, which is exactly when we're going to go on our cruise on the Disney treasure. We're going to celebrate our anniversary on the Disney treasure, February 8th through the 15th, 2025. Now, this is where it gets good. This is a 7-night Western Caribbean cruise from Port Canaveral. This is going to take us and I love this itinerary. I love the Western itineraries. This cruise is going to take us, let's see if I can pull this over here, to Cozumel, Mexico, Georgetown, Grand Cayman, which is spectacular, Falmouth, Jamaica, and of course, Castaway Cay. And I love the longer cruises. We saw that on the Disney Wish. And Darren is talking about himself that he is freaking out. Ashley Bittenbetter, it is a great way to celebrate. Jen says, wow, book it, Dano. I love the Hawaii Five-0 reference. 7 days, the new ship. I talked about it on the live show. I just think the treasure from what we see in concept art, and I was able to do a couple of things when we were in there, in sort of the VR spaces, the Periscope pub, the Skipper Society Lounge, the things that we don't know yet has me really excited for this ship. Even that Grand Hall, I think, is spectacular. So there was no way that we could not do these two cruises together. Now, you've got your dates, right? February 8th through the 15th, 2025, October 21st through the 26th, 2024. And again, I know for the treasure, the booking window, like I says, does open tomorrow. So if you are a Pearl booking, and by tomorrow, I think it means like in the middle of the night, which is why it's so important to have a friend over at Mouse Fan Travel. Platinum opens up on Wednesday. For those of you Golden Oakers, also on Wednesday. Thursday is for Gold, etc. Forgetting our group, I think these cruises are going to book very fast, especially after those maiden and sort of inaugural voyages are over, which is why we wanted to make sure we got this in ASAP. So if you want to get a free, no obligation quote from our friends at Mouse Fan Travel, and you do need to book with your Mouse Fan Travel advisor or directly with anybody over at Mouse Fan Travel in order to take part in the group activities, and I promise you there will be some, you can go to WDWRadio.com /cruises, and you can use the form there to get a quote for either both the Magic or the Treasure. Becky says the rates increase as the ships fill, so do it early. That is not a sales tactic. It is legit true. They will sometimes go up as much as 30% very quickly, which is why I said, look, we need to go live like today, right now. I didn't want to wait for you to potentially read a post, see it on social, if the algorithm showed it, or catch the newsletter or whatever it might be. I wanted to make sure you got this information, and this was the fastest, easiest, and best way to get it for you. Emily says, can we repeat the Treasure itinerary? Right. The Treasure goes 7 nights from Port Canaveral, Cozumel, Georgetown, Jamaica, and Castaway, obviously including some days at sea. And I can give you the exact day-by-day itinerary if I know what it is. And I don't. It just says, according to the Disney Cruise Line site, it's just 7-night Western Caribbean from Port Canaveral to those ports. But again, it is a 7-night cruise there, and you should be able to. There you go. The form is live, and for the October 21st, 2024 Magic Cruise, that is 5 nights with stops at Castaway, Nassau, Lookout Key at Lighthouse Point, which I cannot wait to see, and a sea day. I love the Magic. I love the classic ships. I sort of go between the Magic and Wonder as which is my favorite. I lean a little bit towards the Wonder, but I really love the Magic so very much. And Lighthouse Point is a huge attractor. Halloween at sea, costume parties, trick-or-treating. Just imagine the fun we are going to have with things like the magnet exchange and the fish extender exchange and costume contests and dinners and buffets and snacks on deck and all. I mean, the other stuff that the cruise has as well. So now, if you have any questions, I wanted to give a couple minutes. If you have any questions, please, now is the time. Now is the best time to let me know. Danielle says, are we only able to participate in group activities if we book with Mouse Fan Travel? Yes, Danielle. So because there are things that we have to do on the back end in order to work with Disney and secure space and get assistance from Disney. In order to participate in the group activities, you do have to book through our friends over at Mouse Fan Travel. If you use the form, or if you have an agent, if you have some sort of questions, you can talk to them and they'll address anything that you might have. So Lynette says, I'm going to have to take my teen son on the magic trip. He has to meet Lou. He is a Halloween baby. I have known Lynette for a long, long time, from more on the podcasting business side of things. And Lynette, I would love to see you and meet your teenage son, especially because they grow. How do you have a teenage son already? Of course, I have 2 kids in college, so what am I talking about? Andrew says, what day would it be taking the train down to Fort Lauderdale before the October cruise? We don't have any specifics yet, Andrew. It would probably be the day before, right? I like gambling, but I don't like gambling with getting to a cruise on the day of. So we would most likely go the day before, stay at a group hotel at the port in Fort Lauderdale, and then all board. Because if something happens, if the train is late, if you miss the train, you don't want to be trying to rush that morning, because when that ship is ready to go, it goes. So Becky, correct me if I'm wrong, but we would most likely be going the day before. Becky said, I guess she's answering a question about the pre or post event. We don't know yet. We are waiting to hear back about some questions with Disney for some of the things that we want to do, that if I say any more, Becky will legit murder me and I won't be able to go on the cruise. So do not book anything yet in terms of travel plans, in terms of hotel. Your Mouse Fan Travel Advisor will be able to help you with that. Hopefully within the next few days, we will have more information and let you know exactly when it'll be. So Father Christopher, so the live video will be online. You can go back and watch everything. Also, if you go to wdwradio.com/cruise, it does have a link to the booking form. I didn't have time to spell out all of the itineraries, but you will be able to sort of see exactly what is happening. Mary Well says, always be there the day before. Would we be able to take the train back to Orlando after the cruise? Yeah, so we're going to try and talk to Brightline and see what we can do about creating a group booking as we get closer. But certainly, Brightline, it goes both ways. So you were able to travel back at your leisure and or convenience when you are ready to go. So, yes, Becky confirms we won't know exactly when the event is going to be. Madison says, look, I'm seeing Taylor Swift October 20th in Miami. I was looking at that specific cruise anyways. Hopefully I can make it work for the group event. Madison, I'm assuming that you're going to see Taylor Swiftie, whatever she's called, next month. This is next year. I want to just quadruple be sure. This is October 2024. This is not October of 2023. And the treasure is February 2025. So you've got a lot of time to plan for either or both. They are 2024 and 2025. We want to give you enough time to plan as much as you need. Betsy says, I love the idea of taking the train. I love the train. When we went to Alaska, it was one of my favorite things was taking the train. I know, I'm ridiculous. From Seattle to Vancouver. Justin says, group lunch at Pancho's Backyard in Cozumel. That place is the best. Justin, as we get closer, let me know, because I'm always looking to go to places for a good lunch. So, you're seeing Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift is booking out concert tickets a year in advance. I have a feeling that kid's going to go places. I just call it a hunch, boom, chick, that Taylor Swift is going to go places. We just want to make sure that I want to be sure that we were talking about the right date. I'm not a Swiftie. A Swiftie. I'm not a Swiffer, a Swifter, whatever she's called. If my life depended on naming like 3 Taylor Swift songs, I don't know. Yeah, I know. I can't even do it right now. I can't even do it for the joke. Like, I can't even think like we will never, ever, never get back together. Never, ever, never. Is that one of I think that's a Taylor Swift song. I used to sing that to my daughter and make her crazy when I did that. It doesn't matter. So, Linnea says, if we have a placeholder from a previous cruise, can these be used on the group cruisers? This is a question for Becky or somebody from Mouse Fan Travel. On the booking form, we do have you'll see on the form, there is a spot where you can say that. Let me go find it. If you have an existing an existing Disney Cruise Line reservation that you'd like to transfer to Mouse Fan Travel, you can check off that book, but Becky can confirm that to be true. What Disney movie was Taylor in? High School Musical, the musical, the sequel, part 2. Victoria, this is not my area of expertise. Ask me about food in Walt Disney World. I got you. Ask me about Disney Cruise Line. I could probably fake it. I can't with the Swifties. Sue Passauer says placeholders can be used. They'll have to be made within the last 30 days in order to be able to transfer to us. That's why I referred that question there. Do I need to fill out an interest form if I have a Sue Passauer? I'm sure if you just called her or texted her, she would be able to help you. I don't think that you actually need to fill out the form per se. So if you don't have a Mouse Fan Travel Advisors, you can use the form here on the cruise. I'm getting finally better at this. Oh, my light's out. This light. That light is out. So there you go. So if you have a Mouse Fan Travel Advisor, you could just reach out to him or her directly. She says, I got you, Jeff C. Jeff C knows how much fun we have on these group cruises. Just when he thought he was out, I pulled him back in. Any other questions about our Halloween cruise on the High Seas cruise on the Disney Magic, or our anniversary cruise on the Disney Treasure? There is so much good stuff about either and or both of these. Grace Corbett says, I love Grace Corbett. Already booked Clients Lou. We love cruising with you. This is supposed to be, I'm not sure people do this anymore, but that's still supposed to be a heart. The group cruises are so much fun. Table 20, the Table 20 people have been keeping that Table 20 love going for quite some time. Was it Table 20 that just got together last week in Epcot? I know there was a group from one of the cruises that got to, Tacey Atkinson says, we need a new Lou roast on the ship. Who's in? I can neither confirm nor deny any. I lost that. Father Christopher, when are we going to Japan? That was also part of the conversation today. We do have an inquiry out to the folks at Adventures by Disney. I think I can safely say, I'm going to say it anyway, Becky's going to freak. It will be in 2025. It will be in 2025. So I'm not sure if that is helpful to you or not. Sandra Schmidt-Brooks says, remember Deck 7? Deck 7 goes way back. Deck 7 goes way back to the really, really early cruises. What is it now? 20, is that 2014? Somewhere around there? Deck 7 goes way, way back. Victoria's still holding her breath for Alaska cruise. We absolutely want to get another Alaska cruise in and on the books. I will only say this, as I'm realizing that Becky and I forgot to talk about an Alaska cruise. Nothing is outside the realm of possibility. So we will add that to our conversation. Let's see. I'm allowed to love my sister cruise ships, the Magic and Wonder, equally. So I love them for different reasons, but I slightly lean towards the Wonder because I love Tiana's, and I really like Promenade Lounge on the Wonder. It could be my favorite spot on any Disney Cruise Line vessel. If you had to pick a cruise or Japan, I can't. I can't pick because I love them both equally and for different reasons. So I am going to exercise my right to not pick and just say both. David turned 2011 on the Dream. Table 20 was on the Wonder in 2020. Jeremy, Japan for 2025 to coincide with Star Wars Celebration. Jeremy, I can neither confirm nor deny anything. You can interpret anything you want as you may want to. We are trying to see. It doesn't matter, Becky. We're trying to see if we can potentially make that happen, right? Becky and I will just sort of make camp in Japan for a month, and we will do the ABD and Star Wars Celebration and just have an incredible time in one of my favorite places on Earth. So Becky says, I never forgot Alaska. I didn't say, I mean, I'm not like accusing you of forgetting Alaska. We had a lot of stuff to cover today. A lot of love for the Disney Wonder. Table 125 is the fun table. I still have, by the way, hanging on my door, the Celebrating My Day Pluto butt plush thing that I wore around my neck for some reason. So we were at table 20 on the Magic with Heather Campbell Brookshire and a bunch of people who have kept us. Magic number is 20. Deck 7, 2011 Disney. I see this is what I mean. This is what community and family and all that really is about, is the fact that you meet each other on a cruise, you are connecting with somebody at your table, and your friendships continue on beyond that. So any other questions, any other thoughts or questions? Certainly, if you have any, you can post them on Facebook. You can reach out to your Mouse Fan Travel advisor. Jeff says, I have that photo of you and Pluto as well. I can't post it or I'd be banned. I don't know the photo you are referring to, and I'm still nervous nonetheless. So Dawn says, I love this group. It made us feel like family after we became friends. That, Dawn, is exactly what happens, and it's why cruising as a group, cruising as an extended family is so much better than cruising alone. It's why I wanted to make sure you had this information now before you were starting to think potentially about booking your own cruise or taking your own voyage on the Treasure. One more time, in case you missed it, we are going to do our first cruise, October 21st through the 26th, 2024, our Halloween on the High Seas cruise on the Disney Magic. 5 nights from Fort Lauderdale, Castaway Cay, Nassau, and Lookout Key at Lighthouse Point. A sea day. We're going to take the Bright Line down there together. And we are also going to do a land portion event, either the Saturday before or the Saturday after, the 19th or the night of the 26th. We will have more information about that as soon as we get it. And the other cruise is going to be on the Treasure, February 8th through the 15th. It is a 7-night Western Caribbean from Port Canaveral, Cozumel, Grand Cayman, Jamaica, and Castaway. Really, really looking forward to the new ship and everything that she has to offer. And again, if you want to get a no obligation quote, again, you do need to book with Mouse Fan Travel to be part of the group activities. You can go to wdwradio.com/cruises. If you have any questions, reach out using that form or to your Mouse Fan Travel advisor, or you can always reach out to me on Facebook or Lou at WDWRadio.com, or reach out to Becky Menken from Fan Travel directly. Again, I am super excited for these 2 events. There's always more to come. There are plans in the works for additional cruises, events on land, more on the road events as they come up. And Kevin Lively says, I can probably fit into your checked bags. Kevin, I don't know, man. I bring a lot of snacks. I pack a lot of snacks in my bags. Oh, my checked bags. Oh, yeah, checked bags are fine. I can certainly get like a duffel, like a wheeled duffel, and just roll you in and on. So, yes, I am looking to come to Chicago for the Disney 100 event. I haven't figured out exactly when, but I have thoughts. But I want to get this out because it is so time sensitive, I wanted to get it out as soon as possible. So thank you very much for tuning in this impromptu live. I hope to see you on the Magic and or the Treasure, some of the other events that we have planned coming very, very soon. As always, I love you. I appreciate you. So